What up, Ho Biscuits? It's your girl Skitten, back at it again. First and foremost, I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys are staying safe and sanitized. You know how we always talk about like socks going missing when you do laundry? And obviously, like, I'm not a magician, so that happens to me as well. I'm constantly losing socks. But honestly, I have so many and I'm not super concerned about matching all the time. So it doesn't really bother me like that, you know? But I don't know, like maybe I'm the only person this happens to. Maybe you guys are gonna be like, Skitten, you're crazy. But where do my belts go? Because I am so sure, I am so freaking positive that I have at least 5 belts and I can never find them. I can never ever find them. And when I do find them, I find them in the most random place. Like the other day, I found a belt in the dresser drawer where I keep my gym clothes. Like, who's wearing a belt to the gym? No, why? Who put it there? If I put it there, why did I put it there? What was the thought process? Anyway, if you guys have any special tips and tricks for making sure that you're always able to find a belt when you need one, please let me know, because clearly I struggle with that aspect of adulthood. And I don't know why. It's weird. Whatever. Anyway, the point is I lose things, y'all. I find a way to lose almost everything, which means I have duplicates of almost everything because I like repurchase them and then I find them and I'm like, oh great, now I have 2, and then somehow end up managing to be able to find none. My life is difficult. Anywhoozins, today we are here for some Am I the Asshole? You guys know that this is one of my favorite subreddits and I have been scouring Reddit to find you some good ones, okay? I've been trying to make sure that I find ones that aren't like karma bait or rage bait, but are also like ones that you can kind of at least have some sort of investment in, because I feel like it's either or with Am I the Asshole, right? Like it's either like clearly rage bait, clearly a fake story, like clearly there to get your blood up, right? Or it's just the most benign and or asinine thing and you're like, why is this a question? Why are we here? Why are we discussing this? What is going on? You feel me? I feel like y'all feel me. I feel like you'll feel me. Anywho, I am super excited to get into this Reddit post. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Am I the asshole for accidentally destroying someone's book? As someone who really loves books, my initial reaction to this, my gut reaction to this was yes, absolutely. But you do say that it's an accident and it feels wrong to call someone an asshole for an accident. So I will stick a pin in that until I see what the situation is. Last week, I borrowed one of my friend's books. We're not that close, but we both share a love of reading. Anyway, I was reading said book whilst in the bath last week, and it led to me accidentally dropping it into the tub. I have been there. I know some people refuse to read in the bath because of the risk of situations like this. But I've been reading in the bath since I was a wee one. And I've only, God, I think I've only ever dropped like 2 books in the bathtub. Just because, I don't know, there's certain practices that you can do in the bath that make it so that you're not dropping the book. And also just like the nature of reading a book kind of makes it hard to drop it unless something like extreme happens, which it obviously did here. But you took the risk. So the pages are ruined and the book has expanded quite a bit, but in my opinion, it's still readable. Okay. Of course, though, I still felt very guilty and I offered to replace it. She refused and said that I shouldn't worry about it. Accidents happen after all. But now I found out that she's going behind my back and telling all our mutual friends about it. She isn't saying it directly, but she's heavily implying that I didn't try to do anything about it. I'm pretty sure I'm not the asshole, but some of my other friends say I should just be the bigger person and replace her book. However, I'm feeling quite hurt by her words and am now very reluctant to purchase something for her. So what should I do about it? Should I just ignore it or just go ahead and buy her another book? There's more to this post, but before we get to that, I would just like to say that if someone loans you something of theirs and while it's in your possession, it is damaged, you kind of have the obligation to fix and or replace it, regardless of if it was an accident or whatever. Now, is it right that she's like going around and talking shit about you to your friends about it after she told you not to worry about it? No, like that's not great. But you already said that like y'all weren't close, and I can definitely see why she would be upset that like her stuff is ruined and you didn't just automatically fix it for her. You feel me? Like you're like, "Oh, I could, like it should have been the first thing that you did." But let's get into what else this post has to say. Firstly, I offered to replace the book like 5 or 6 times, but each time my friend told me not to worry about it and that it would just be a waste of money if I did decide to replace it. After all, I've already read it, she said to me multiple times. Also, regarding the bath controversy, I often read books in the bath to relax a bit in the evening. My friend knows this and even does it herself. Yeah, it's pretty common. Like I said, I understand that a lot of people don't do it, but I mean, it's honestly not that big deal. I also mentioned that those were probably my plans, i.e., I said something like, I can't wait to read this book in the bath later, and she didn't show any expression of discomfort or whatever. In fact, she slightly encouraged me by saying something like, I'm so jealous, I've got work later, so I don't have time to relax. Many people are wondering if the book was extra special in some way, excluding the fact that it's a book she bought for herself, and are also wondering what the book actually was, but no, it wasn't a special edition, nor was it sentimental. This may come across as defensive, but I truly don't believe the issue lies in me reading the book in a bathtub. My friend has also read the books. I've lent her in the bath many times, and though it may seem like I'm careless with other people's books, this is the first time I've ever even slightly damaged one of her books. I truly did feel bad and insisted on replacing it multiple times, but each time she refused, so I just accepted it and moved on. One time, a friend of mine, I've been friends with her for years, lent me a book, and I lost it. Like I couldn't find it anywhere. I did eventually end up finding it, but I couldn't find it anywhere. And I felt so awful that I bought her a replacement book, and I also got her a Starbucks gift card because I felt so bad about losing something that she had like trusted me with. And maybe getting her like the extra gift card was like more than I needed to do, but it was what I felt like I should do, because not only did I value the fact that this person like lent me this book and I felt like I'd betrayed their trust in a way, but like I valued this person and their friendship, and I wanted them to know like, hey, like, you know, like I love you, I'm so sorry, here you go. Like I said earlier, if someone lends you something of theirs and under your supervision it comes to harm, you are definitely obligated to replace that before, like it should have been the first thing you did. Like when you let her know what happened, you should have been like, oh my God, I dropped your book in the bathtub, but I'm so sorry. Here's a replacement. My bad, girl. Like that should have been the first thing you did. So the fact that you're like, oh, do you want me to replace it? I could see how it could come across as like not genuine. You know, especially because like earlier in the post, you're like, the pages are ruined and the book has expanded, but it's still readable. So for you, you were like, well, it's still readable. So like, what's the problem? But it's just like, it's the principle. And I feel like maybe OP is having a difficult time understanding the principle of the whole thing, because it doesn't seem like OP is like malicious or doesn't want to replace the book, but it should, regardless, it should have been the first thing that you did. I'm gonna go with okay, for the question that is asked, right? Am I the asshole for accidentally destroying someone's book? No, you're not the asshole for accidentally destroying someone's book. That's not why you're the asshole. If you were the asshole, and I'm leaning towards not, but it's, man, it's real tough. It would be for not immediately replacing something that you destroyed. if that makes sense. I feel like that makes sense. I feel like that's pretty clear. So yeah, I'm gonna stick with my original and say yes, but not because you destroyed the book, but because you didn't immediately replace it afterwards. That's my take. Let me know what you guys think about the whole thing. Because like I said, I'm kind of on the fence. I'm teeter-tottering. So if you have like a good explanation for why this person is not the asshole, let me know. Like, I'm definitely open. Super open. Let's see what the comments have to say. This person says, you owe her a new book. You took a risk with someone else's property and destroyed it. Exactly. Yes. You're the asshole for thinking that you don't have to take responsibility to replace what you destroyed. Edited to add, you should have bought a replacement and given it to her when you told her that you had an accident with the old one. Your biggest fault here was offering to replace instead of just doing the right thing. Oh my God, get out of my brain, diligent activity 70. Like, that's literally almost exactly what I said verbatim. But also like very gratifying to hear because it's just the right thing to do. It's the polite thing to do. It's etiquette. Like, I feel like it's pretty obvious. Entirely agree with this. Your friend shouldn't have to tell you, yes, I'd like the book replaced. You destroyed it, you replace it. You start this off with, you aren't really that close, like that's justification. All the more reason to treat someone else's property with more care than you do your own, which is actually not something that I had really thought about. But also, yeah, if somebody that you're not that close with lends you something, you are like extra careful with that because the relationship is more fragile. Like if Dr. D lends me something and like I break it, I know that more likely than not, 99.9% of the time, she's going to forgive me with nothing more than like a little bit of light ribbing and then obviously like me replacing it. But if it's somebody that I'm not that close with, they might never forgive me. And I don't know, some people are cool with people like that they're not close with being mad at them. I am not one of those people, okay? I cannot handle people being mad at me. That like I know in real life. I don't really care if people online are mad at me. Like, whatever. All right, this person says, everyone sucks here. You for taking a borrowed book into the bath and your friend for pretending like everything's fine and then talking behind your back about it. Yeah, I guess everyone sucks here also fits. If you want to preserve the friendship, tell her that you know what she's been saying. You'll get a new copy of the book for her, that it hurts you that she told you it was a non-issue and then implied to others that you hadn't tried to fix it. How she responds will be very telling and you can go from there. I do agree with that. I do agree with that course of action. First thing you need to do though is replace the book. That's absolutely the first thing. But then yeah, absolutely have an open and honest conversation about the fact that she's going behind your back and basically like lying on your name. Like that part of it is really fucked up and I don't like that. Okay, this person says, not the asshole, it was an accident, it happened. You offered to replace it and she said no. Obviously, she doesn't feel comfortable telling you how she really feels and that is not on you. However, if I were you, I'd purchase her a new book anyway. It's the right thing to do. See, oh, man. Yeah, because that's why I was like teetering so badly because especially in the edit, OP is like, oh, I offered to replace it like 5 or 6 times. And again, while I do feel like you shouldn't have offered, you should have just replaced it. If you did offer multiple times and she continuously said, no, it's fine. No, don't worry about it. No, girl, we're good. Then girl, let it be good. Is it beef or is it not beef? This is a tough one. This is actually one of the ones where I'm not sure about my decision and I'm not disagreeing with anybody who disagrees with what I said. Everyone sucks here. You for reading a book that wasn't yours in a risky situation. Her for denying your offer to replace the book and going behind your back and telling people you didn't offer to. All you can do now is replace the book, present it to your friend loudly and publicly, making sure to remind her that even though she denied your offer of replacing the book, you did so anyways because you were tired of hearing her talk about you behind your back and then cut her off. You don't need people like that in your life. Person said, so replacing the book immediately should have been a no-brainer for you. A lot of people are society trained to say things like, no, it's okay, it was an accident, but at the end of the day, that doesn't actually matter. Most common interaction would be you ruined the book, you replaced the book, and she tells you up and down that was unnecessary, but thanks you regardless. Which is exactly what my friend did when I lost her book and then not only replaced it, but got her a gift card. Like, she's like, girl, you did not need to do this. It was not that deep. I'd already read the book, blah, blah, blah. You know, now did that stop her from taking the Starbucks gift card and going to Starbucks? Absolutely not. Of course not. Who's going to deny free Starbucks? But, you know, we did the little dance, we did the thing. And she is, again, a very dear friend of mine. So like, I don't feel like I did too much. I feel like I did exactly what needed to be done. So it looks like a majority of people are saying you're the asshole. Like there's a couple not the assholes, there's a couple everybody sucks, but like the general consensus is YTA. And I feel like that's reasonable. I feel like, again, I was teetering, and again, like I said, in the comments, if you guys disagree, definitely say so, because I don't, like, I feel like there's no wrong answer here except maybe like, fuck that bitch, like you shouldn't have replaced her book anyway, blah 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 blah. But like literally nobody's saying that. Everyone's like, you're not the asshole, but you should replace the book anyway. Like, so man, this one was like, I don't know, I got like weirdly invested in it, especially because like of my personal experience that's similar. So I really liked this. I really enjoyed this. I need more low stakes but high involvement Am I the Asshole stories. That's the realm of Am I the Asshole that I want to be in. That's the realm of Am I the Asshole that I enjoyed. Anywhoosins, let me know for sure what you guys think down in the comments. I feel like this is a nail biter. Don't get too heated. Don't start acting crazy down there, okay? I'm keeping my eye on you. I'm watching you. Don't forget to leave your reaction requests and recommendations down in the comments below. And other than that, peace out, Ho Biscuits. It's Skittin' Lit.